Disclaimer, I didn't choose the Philippines.
Okay.
The Philippines chose me. Eating rice, like plain rice and chicken. That was a big issue for me when I moved in, but I'm now a pro. It's just like home. I mean, if I leave the Philippines, I'm going to cry.
On today's episode of the Wineding Down podcast, we have a special guest. She's a Nigerian chef who moved to the Philippines for college. She has her own YouTube channel, and today, she joins us to talk about Filipino versus Nigerian food, as well as to share her experience of what it's like living in the Philippines. Without further ado,
please welcome Happiness.
thank you, Happiness, for joining our podcast. Welcome again, guys, to the Wineding Down podcast.
On today's video, we'll be having Arbor Miss Merlot.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
We know you're a Nigerian chef here, so actually today we prepared 4 traditional Filipino dishes for you to try, right? Starting first with the original Kare-Kare. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, Kare-Kare. Yeah, so for the Kare-Kare, for everyone's knowledge who doesn't know, Kare-Kare is a traditional Filipino stew complemented with a thick, savory peanut sauce. So the commonly used meats for this dish are oxtail, tripe, and pork leg.
Okay, guys, I'm trying the Kare-Kare.
Yes,
right?
yeah. Have you tried this one before?
No, but I've seen it before.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
You're not allergic to peanuts, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. I think we should have checked that before we ordered.
Just in case, walang kaming pangbayad ng hospital bills.
So good.
Oh, it is? Yeah? Okay.
Why are you guys surprised?
No, because like personally, they go bet you peanuts in general. So like even with Thai food, I just don't like meals that have peanut.
Yeah.
But on its own, like with rice, it's okay. But Kare-Kare is not really my number one. Yeah. For me.
Fair enough.
But anyway, so that we can know more about you, Happiness, why did you choose the Philippines to move to?
Disclaimer, I didn't choose the Philippines. The Philippines chose me. Because I remember back then, that was 2015, I had just graduated from high school, and I already wrote the examination in Nigeria to go to one of the schools there.
Okay.
Right, so I was waiting for my result to go to one of the universities in Nigeria when my aunt decided that I move here with my cousin.
Okay.
Gotcha. And why do you think she chose the Philippines for you to move?
I had like a family friend who graduated from San Augustine.
Oh,
okay.
What's her name again? I forgot her name, but she graduated. I'm sorry.
The reason for you being here.
Very close.
So she graduated from the Philippines, specifically San Augustine, and she got. I think her mom was close to my aunt, so they were having a conversation. She told her about St. Augustine, and she felt like it was a good school, and with the fact that it's a Catholic school, so she was like, "Oh, let's move here."
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And
that's the main reason.
I'm curious, how long have you been here? 2015.
So I think by the time this video should be up, it's already 8 years.
8 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
I think I remember I met you when you first moved.
Yeah.
I think you were with your aunt that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Injab.
Yeah, at Injab. It's all like actually coming back to me.
Yeah.
And we were with my mom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was 8 years ago.
Yeah, because your mom was our guardian.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys didn't know?
See, this is all news. Well, not news, but it's just coming back to me. Okay.
I don't have the same moment. It's my first time eating Happiness.
Okay, like I feel like you unlocked a memory in my brain.
Yeah. Your mom was our guardian.
Yeah, nakalimutan ko talaga yun. But okay, so that's super cool. So that was in Iloilo, right?
Yeah.
So, because we also have like past episodes where we talk about the difference between Manila and Iloilo. Do you think there's also like a
there's a big difference.
Like how so, in your opinion?
I mean, whoever stayed in the province before, because Iloilo city is a province, right? So whoever stayed in the province before would know that there's a big difference with staying in the province and also staying in the city. In Iloilo, things are really affordable. And before I left, there was no traffic. I don't know about now. And also, the people there, I know people say that Filipinos are hospitable, but I would always trace it back to Ilongos. Ilongos are really, really hospitable. So it's really different living there compared to here. For here, when I moved, it was just so hard adapting because of the traffic, just so many people everywhere.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's always busy, always busy.
Yeah.
There's something always going on, and the people are hospitable, but
Yeah, I get you. Like that's what I said. Like Manila people in Iloilo,
They're
they're
just
just
different.
different, you know. I mean, for me, to be honest, I think the reason why now that when I think about it, is because, like you said, there's always something going on. Everyone's
Yeah.
so busy, so maybe because of that busyness, there's
Yeah.
traffic. There's just always something. People, I'm not saying that they're like less friendly, but they're
they're just carried away.
I think-
they're just like focused on too many other
Yeah.
things. While in in Iloilo, because it's just more chill and stuff, so people tend to be a bit more accommodating.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that, I think it's also just the city life. City life
Yeah,
is very different.
it's
Because it's a city, it's a big city, there's a lot more people here
Yeah.
from all over the place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And so, there's going to be a huge difference in, the way,
The way of
people live
life.
their life and the way things happen. So everyone's going to be busy, everyone's going to be working. And so people don't have time to like think about other people. They're too busy looking out for themselves.
No, I mean, because like in Iloilo, you went there for basically you initially came for school, right? And right now you are still in Iloilo because.
So after my BSc, I went straight up for my master's. So that's why I'm still here because I haven't graduated yet.
Okay.
But
okay.
I should be done this year.
All right. Well,
Okay.
advance congratulations.
Okay, and after your master's, do you think you're going to still stay here for a while, or do you see yourself moving?
So sincerely, I think I think 2 years ago, I would say that after my master's, I'm going back home. I still want to go back home, but right now with the plans I have, like I think I might stay here a bit before going back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what are you doing for your masters?
Oh, master's in business administration, MBA.
That's cool.
Yeah. Are you using that in any way at the moment?
Yes,
the
I
business
am.
ones?
I mean, I have a business.
Okay.
Right. I have a restaurant, but it's currently online. But I look forward to having a physical outlet someday, by God's grace. And yeah.
Okay, nice.
Well, I mean, since you mentioned that, right? Like you have business, you're a chef or aspiring chef. So, regarding like Nigerian food and Filipino food, I'm very curious to like, from a chef's perspective, is the cuisine more or less like the same on par? But before we go into that, I want us to move on to our second meal, which is Bicol Express. So with Bicol Express, it's made up of like coconut milk, which brings a sense of delight to the sharp notes of chili pepper and bagoong in the classic recipe. So the contrast has long created a spellbinding richness and taste for the dish, and it also is arguably one of the most popular Filipino dishes. So I know in Nigeria, personally, I really like spicy food.
Yeah.
So the reason why I love Bicol Express is because it's spicy, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So I want to know if you think so as well. So this,
I've tried Bicol Express before, and this is one of my best Filipino food just because it's spicy.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
So
trying
the
it.
spicier, the better. Like if it's spicy, you automatically like it. Or
Yeah.
Or is it just this one particular? Because there are other like spicy.
Like sisig can be spicy.
Yeah, sisig is
Yeah.
also spicy, but
What else?
This is really good. Always good.
right?
Mopes can be spicy.
Yeah, yeah. But I think Bicol Express is my most favorite like spicy Filipino
Yeah.
dish. I don't know, it just really hits different. I think maybe also like the coconut milk adds like a
I mean, yeah,
Different
coconut
flavor?
milk definitely adds like something
A
nice,
great
especially
taste.
with rice. At least for me.
Yeah, yeah.
We have rice over there. If you want to have it.
She asked a
Yeah.
question earlier about the difference between Nigerian food and Filipino food. So the difference is Nigerian food are more spicier, like pepperish. We call it pepperish. We have a lot of pepper in our food. And Filipino food are good and delicious. Just that you guys have a lot of sugar in most of your dishes, and I can't deal.
Yeah, that's a staple.
Like Filipinos have, like they do add what's it called, sugar in some dishes. Like I think it's it actually frittata.
There's
Oh,
spaghetti.
frittata.
Yeah,
Even
spaghetti.
even the spaghetti.
The spaghetti one,
Right.
I'll never forget
Yeah.
it.
like no, the foods are good.
The food is
Trust
good.
me. Just that I'm not used to
That much sugar.
having sugar in my food. So I think the difference is the sugar and the spiciness level. Because I do say to some Filipinos and some will be like, no, I don't want it to be spicy. I
Yeah.
want it to be spicy.
Mm.
You get, so I think that's the difference. But they're all good.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, because also, I'm not sure if you agree. Like, when I lived in Iloilo and I moved here to Manila, even like the Filipino traditional foods were different. Like, for example, meals like laswa or utan, or like they're just meals, I guess, depending on the
Yeah.
area. So
Exactly.
from where you like been, I'm not sure if you like travel like a lot of places, but would you like which part would you say is your favorite
Okay, so-
Filipino staple?
I can't specify to be real, just because I don't always eat Filipino food just because I cook and I'm always home.
Yeah.
So I get to eat Filipino food maybe when I go out, and then sometimes it depends if I'm with Filipinos.
Yeah, yeah.
We should ask Liz and Becca, do you guys eat Filipino food when you're at home?
I mean, yeah, like,
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, if I was to choose just because I love spicy food, I prefer Nigerian food, right? But I also really like Filipino food because that's what I've been eating since 2009. So it's just
Yeah.
part of, like, I can't live without rice now.
Yeah,
I eat
yeah.
breakfast,
Yeah,
lunch,
Yeah,
dinner.
yeah.
Like, rice is life.
Rice is really light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I before when I moved here, it was kind of hard to adjust. But
Yeah.
now, like sisig, batikolon, utan, laswa, like lechon kawali, like I love all of that. Even Bicol Express, Mongo, not so much.
Yeah.
That's our next dish.
That's the next dish, but no, just a disclaimer: beans, the Kare-Kare, peanut butter, I don't like it, but the rest, I can eat anything aside from those two.
And I agree with what Lisa said. Lisa, right?
Yes.
I get
She
confused.
can never still tell the
I always
difference.
get confused.
Never tell the difference.
So I agree with what Liz said about how different provinces have different kind of food and also the taste.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Bicol Express, right? Is from Bicol.
Bicol, yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Becky, I read something online that even though it's called Bicol Express, it actually originated from Manila.
Oh,
There's like
really?
this dispute. Like I just, well, for yours, I read that part. I don't know. I don't know if it's true.
Let
I
us
had
know
it from
in the comments.
Bicol.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us
But
know, where is Bicol Express from? That is the question.
In your
of the day.
opinion.
In your opinion.
I would assume. But
In your opinion. I believe that Bicol Express
Yeah.
is.
all right. But since you mentioned mongo, I think this is mongo with lechon kawali. Have you had that before?
I haven't.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, do you like beans? Because it's mostly beans.
It's 1 pound of leftover lechon cut into bite
So
size.
that's over. Wow.
1 cup mango, which is the mung beans. 1 cup of chopped pechay. 6 cloves of garlic chopped. 1 small onion. 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. And salt and pepper to taste. After cooking and stuff.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ingredients in there, a lot of classic, Filipino ingredients. So definitely a Filipino staple.
I think I'm gonna try this one with the rice, just because it's beans.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make it.
I've never, at home I grew up eating Filipino food, so I never not eaten with rice. So
Okay. So
unlike
rice
you
is-
guys,
It's not eating with rice.
Unlike you guys, I always eat with rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fine.
it's like I get it. Yeah. So since you were a kid, rice was all you could
Yeah.
eat, right?
Yeah, I knew rice. I did have some bread, like sandwiches and stuff. I had like an Italian BMT and stuff like that. But like for the most part, I eat everything with rice. And so with you guys talking about like not eating with rice before coming here, it's like it's kind of different.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like in Nigeria, it was cassava.
Yeah, we have like different food.
Yeah,
Like
to
Gary.
curry.
Like garlic,
So-
plantain, yeah.
But so from a scale of 1 to 10,
It's really beans. I'll give it a.
Redacted. Oh,
Six,
Um,
seven? Did you say 6?
I think it's good though. I'll give it a 7.
yeah. Okay.
Just
All right.
because it has this Nigerian beans taste.
yeah.
And I haven't eaten that in a while, so it's like, oh wow, I think I'm going to get this mongo. So
All right.
yeah, like it tastes good. It tastes good.
Okay.
It tastes good.
I think that's also when I always have mango, that's what it reminds me of
Like
because
Nigerian beans,
like
right?
the
Beans and rice. Like,
Yeah, it's like that was the first things I
yeah.
got, beans and rice. Yeah, tastes
Ah.
really good. I think 8. Sorry, I said 7.
If it was spicier, maybe we would get it right.
Yeah, but it's really good.
Okay.
All right. Well, so happiness, like a common topic that or a common theme that we've been discussing in our podcast is basically just like experience as foreigners when it comes to like different countries moving to the Philippines. So for you, moving from Nigeria back then, do you remember any like major culture shocks that you've had?
Okay, I think one of it would be with the food. Eating rice, like plain rice and chicken.
Yeah.
That was a big
stew.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big issue for me when I moved in, like getting used to eat plain rice and chicken or plain rice with ketchup. But I'm now a pro. But when I moved in, like it was so hard adapting to that because growing up I was used to eating rice and stew or rice and something. It just has to be a sauce,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not ketchup. Right, so that was one of my biggest cultural shocks. And then the second one would be the cats. Cats,
okay.
like I don't know, like cats.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I would always say this on my channel that in Nigeria, right, like we have cats, but the cats are not as rampant or everywhere as it is here in the Philippines, right? Just because cats then were used for fetish stuff, right? So you guys know about that?
No, wait. Used for what?
Fetish stuff like something scary like witches and stuff, right?
Oh.
So that was the reason why, like, so that was the reason why we don't see cats all the time. Like, we rarely see cats, especially from the place I come from, but Hakka, like, cats are there, but you rarely see them on the road or just anywhere. And then when you see the cats, it's just so scary seeing them in your eyes.
Oh,
So when I
okay.
moved to the Philippines and I moved to Iloilo, the compound of the place I stayed in, there were so many cats. So many. So I was so scared seeing them, like, because I grew up with a different mentality when it comes to cats.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
seeing them
yeah.
is like, there's so many my witches and stuff and all of that. So yeah, but right now I'm used to having cats around and just playing around with them. So
Do you
that's the
have any
second.
cats?
I don't
Like,
have
at
any.
home?
Yeah,
No?
I don't think I'm going to have any, but I can, appreciate and admire them from
Yeah.
a distance. You get it? But yeah, so cats were like the second cultural shocks I had. And which other one again? Is how Filipinos stare at you. Right? It can be good and it can be bad. But moving here and just watching a lot of them look at me, I think it's because of my hair. Right? Because
Yeah.
most times when we have different colors
Yeah.
of hair,
Yeah.
they're so curious on how did you do that? How did you make that? So yeah, I think that's one of the cultural shocks I had.
I mean, cause like it's funny you mentioned that because the video that we did with his dad Joe, link in the
Link in
description below. So he also mentioned like when we asked him about culture shocks, he mentioned the same thing as well, and we got from the comments that, and I think we know this as well, but a lot of people are emphasizing that Filipinos don't stare to be rude because they just they see something different and they
Yeah.
admire it, and I mean I think that's understandable.
Yeah, that's understandable, but it can be really too much.
Yeah. I mean, it does get uncomfortable for the receiving end, but
Yeah, I get it. If someone had pink hair and they were black,
Exactly.
they're curious. You're like, oh,
Like,
but there can be a,
Yeah.
if you're doing like, the other person will definitely feel uncomfortable, right? So I understand that it's admiration. There's no harm. They're not trying to be rude, but I get how the person on the receiving end can be a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I guess they're,
it just
it reminded me.
And also, that's not to say that we're sort of trying to like fault Filipinos.
No.
We're just sharing our experience here,
Yeah, exactly.
as well as like how it makes us feel. Just because it doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like right now, I'm okay. Let's say 60% or 70% okay with it, right? Because I can be shy sometimes. But before, I remember back then. I think you remember when we used to stay before, like Salazar's apartment.
Yeah.
We had to walk down from there to the school.
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah,
early in
yeah.
the morning when you're walking to school, the jeepneys.
Yeah.
Jeeps are like.
You're just like,
So, I used to run then going to school because it really made me uncomfortable. But right now, I just see it as something normal and them just being themselves. Yeah.
We want to know, like, since you've lived here for 8 years, so you definitely have some things that you love and some things that you don't necessarily love. So we wanted to get like your top 3 things that you feel like can be better in the Philippines, and the top 3 things that you can say you absolutely love. But before that, we want you to try the final dish. It's leche flan, and basically leche flan is just custard, milk, egg, and I think it's originated from Spain, if I am not mistaken. But because leche is milk in Spanish, and then the flan. But if it's not, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, if you
I can try.
Oh, it's fun fact, by the way, I love leche flan. I eat it almost every day.
For every day.
It's good.
Wait, 4?
You call this every day?
No, but it's like the small ones, not the big ones. Like, it's
Like the cupcake
Yeah,
size?
Yeah, which is
Yeah,
basically
okay.
equivalent to that, right?
But it's good. Yeah.
Like from 1 to 10.
Give
So
us
I don't like too sweet.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, it's really good. But because I don't like too sweet, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But it's
Fair,
good.
fair.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alright, so like let's start with like the things that you feel would be better in the Philippines.
So I think I have just one thing I don't like about the Philippines because I can't really think about anything right now. But that one thing would be the fact that as foreigners and students you cannot work. Right? There can be so. Right? Just that we can't work as foreigners who are students is something I really do not like because it would have really made a lot of sense if we are allowed to, to still work. I mean, corporate company, you can work online, but in corporate companies here in the Philippines, you cannot work as a student unless you have a working visa. Yeah. So that's something I don't like.
Would you say that's the reason why you started your restaurant?
That's one of the reasons I started because I wanted to do something. I didn't want to be dependent on home all the time
Yeah.
for something or for money. So I wanted to really have something doing, and that was why I started my business.
Okay, well for the government, if you're watching, baka naman, let us work. And like for positives, like what would you say? Because I know you really you're especially you're one of the few friends that I have that are black that are really advocating how much to love the Philippines. So can you give us like 2 or 3 things that you might be that you really really like about the Philippines?
So I think what I love the most about the Philippines is that most Filipinos are really hospitable. Most of them are really hospitable, and I've noticed that when Filipinos let you in their space they can really let you in actually. When they let you in their space, they just accept you for who you are, not minding your color, your race, or anything. They just really accept you. Like Filipinos are really friendly, and I love the fact that Philippines is just like home for me. I mean, if I leave the Philippines, I'm going to cry. Yeah, because it's really just like home. Like it's not strict like other countries. You can just do whatever you want to do. Legally, not illegally, right? So perhaps you're doing something legally, you're at peace. No one is stressing you. No one is putting a gun in your head and stuff. Like, yeah, Philippines is really a great place to be. I just love the people and I love the environment. I love the Philippines. Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
So you'd say that your aunt chose better then?
Yeah, she did. She really did because. I mean, from the Philippines, I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about people. And to be sincere, if I was in Nigeria, I don't think I would learn these things that I've learned here. Philippines has really made me a better person in different aspects, like emotionally, like spiritually, physically, every aspect. I'm a way better person because I'm here. And I wouldn't be, maybe I would, but I don't think I would be this person if I was in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I think that's what we said in our. I remember the 3 of us growing up. So we mentioned that also we wouldn't be who we are, regardless of positive, negatives.
Yeah.
It's made us who we are as people, and that's something that would definitely be appreciated for forever. Okay. Well, thank you so much again, guys, for always watching. Again, we always want to create a dialogue. So if there's other things that you feel that we need to talk about, or if you like this kind of content, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.